Hi there and welcome to Tactical Magfed. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to install a red dot on a dovetail sight mount on the new Umarex Training for Engagement Glock 17 Gen 5. Check it out. Hi there and welcome back to Tactical Magfed. Okay, so you've got your shiny new Umarex Training for Engagement Glock 17 paintball marker, and you want to spice it up a little bit. You might be thinking about putting a red dot on it. So follow this how-to and you should be well on your way to getting your red dot on. Okay, so for this install you're going to need some grippy gloves, a dovetail red dot mount, and a red dot of your choice. If you're interested in the bits that I'm using, if you want me to do separate reviews on these, just give me a shout in the comments. I'll do my best to get some videos up on that. I'll put some details down in the descriptions about the components that I've used. There are other flavours of these components, so I'm not telling you which ones to buy. These are just what worked for me. Okay, so in the past I've used real steel red dot mounts on my S&P 500 because the cheap ones I bought off Amazon didn't fit on there. I ended up having to get a real one which fit that pistol. I was going to do the same, get the same make, but it's so expensive to get one of those shipped to the UK. It ended up being it's like £28 for the mount and almost the same for postage to get it from Italy somewhere to here. So I took a chance and got a $8 or $9.99 cheapo version from Amazon, and this fits with a little bit of modification. So we'll go through that in a moment. But essentially what you're doing, you're removing the existing sight from the slide, you're putting a little dovetail wedge where the sight was, and then you're putting screwing your plate to that, and then your red dot goes on top. So with these Umarex markers, we'll get this off. First I'm just going to stick my gloves on because it's a lot easier to grip everything with some rubber grips on your hands, and saves your pinkies from getting caught in the in the crossfire. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is take off this mount here. It is a plastic sight mount on here. I have no idea if on the real steel they're plastic or metal or what they are, but they could be polymer, I don't know. As you see on the right hand side of here, there is a little groove, so you can get something like a screwdriver, and sort of it's quite handy with this is a screwdriver Allen key. It's quite handy. I can get that on here and just push. It does come out relatively easy, and once you get it a certain way you can just push it out with your fingers. There you go. Okay, so we've now got the dovetail out. One thing to note with these Umarex markers, because they have plastic sights, what they tend to do is on the dovetail, on the MP9 and this, round about in the middle here, they have a slight, it's thinner in the middle section here than it is on each end. The idea of that being, when they've got their wedge sight in, there's a very tight section in the middle that you can even see here. They've got two plastic in sort of risen or two raised sections here, and the pinch section is in between those bits, so you've got some windage adjustment on here. There's a bit of grip for windage, which is all well and good, but I don't think the real steel versions have that. So when you're putting anything like this wedge on, this wedge wouldn't fit in here. I was kind of tempted to push it with a tool, sort of squeeze it through, but this is aluminium, it's not steel. This is aluminium as well, but if you force aluminium, you can crack it and all sorts of stuff. This is a first edition version of this Umarex Glock. I didn't really want to file the slide on there because Umarex have gone to great lengths to make a really nice accurate precision slide. So I filed down the, I don't know, 25 pence worth of aluminium that came with the sight. As you can see on here, I haven't taken a lot off. I've had a metal file, and all I did was just gently stroke this down the file just to take a little bit of the edge off of both sides, and that was enough for it to go in there. It still has a bit of bite, but that was enough to get it in there. So what you then have to do is you get the little dovetail piece and you slide it into here. As you can see, as you get to about halfway, that's where you get your bite and that grips in there. What essentially I'm doing is pushing that through to the point where it looks to be central. There you go, that's about there. And then you get your top plate, and there's two sets of screws here. The front two are for the red dot spacing to get your red dot on, and the back two are for this dovetail. So it just sits on the top layer like that. If you're really precious about your slide, you could put a piece of tape on there to protect it. I might end up doing that. And you also want to put some Loctite on any screws. You'll see on the sight, the screws that come with the sight, there's some blue Loctite on there that will just help it to stop it from working loose. But you need these two, you can see that there. There's two smaller screws that come with that sit in there, and they're recessed in, so when these are screwed in, they don't stick out and interfere with your sight. You need a small sort of posi drive, Phillips head screwdriver on there, and they screw in. Now, word of caution on this next section. So, be careful how long your screws are before you put your sight on. So, I tested this previously. I've had this on and taken it off. So, I tested this previously, but what you want to do when this mount is off the gun is put the sight on the top. Okay. Put the sight on the top and screw both of these screws in, and just check how much clearance you've got on the underside of the mount. If they sit flush with the mount or are recessed into the mount slightly, then you're good. You're not screwing into the top of your slide. But what you want to be wary of, that this particular sight came with two different lengths of screw. I put the first ones through and checked it, and they came out by about 3 mil. And if that was the case, it would have been screwing into this slide. You could potentially crack it or damage it, but ultimately you don't want to be screwing into the slide. So you want to make sure that screws aren't going through further than they need to and damage your slide. Just a note there, so you don't end up doing that. Then you take your sight screws. The sights came with these screws, and they came with a specific tool. So it came with this. I think it's not a hex. It's not a hex tool. I can't remember. It's like a secure bit or something like that, I think it's called. But similar to an Allen key, but I think these are a better design. They're less likely to slip. Okay. What you don't want to do is tighten them up too much at this stage. You want to kind of get them both down to the same level and then gradually tighten each one. You don't have to overdo it. Don't forget to put a battery in if you need a battery, because you'd be taking it off again. Alright, so as we're getting down to this last bit, you can start to feel the tension building up in these screws. Okay. The reason I'm going backwards and forwards to each one is because as you tighten one, you could be pulling the sight to that side, and then you're loosening the other one. So like I say, I don't want to go too crazy with these. The depth of the screws is close, so they are on the edge of the plate, and I don't want to go into my top slide, my pistol. That's that one done. That's that one done. Okay, so we're all good. And there you have it. You have a red dot, screwed, bolted to the red dot mount. The red dot mount screwed, bolted to the dovetail attachment in there, and it's all on there. So as you can see, that looks pretty cool. You can see up there, the red dot's not on at the moment. Few details about this particular red dot. I'll put details down in the description if you want to check out what it is, but essentially this is a 6 MOA dot. Because this is a paintball pistol and I'm going to be using it at very close quarters, they've got an effective range between 5 and 10 meters really. They will go faster, they will go further, but they tend to not break or they wing off. But generally speaking, this is in sort of CQB, close quarters, and I'll be shooting it up to, normally within 5 meters, but certainly no further than 10. So I've got a 6 MOA dot on here, so as I can get some good target acquisition, and I don't have to worry about a smaller dot for trying to pick up things further away. Nice little sight. It's a budget sight, but it can be used on certain real steel weapons. They normally go on small caliber rifles and things like that, I think. Not so sure about pistols, but there you have it. Not difficult install, sort of as a mod goes. That's the hardest part the trickiest part is filing down that little dovetail attachment. Don't take too much off, go very steady, and as soon as it starts to go through with a little bit of force, you can be reassured that you can put that on there with no bother. I really like putting red dots on all my stuff. You can probably see up here, they've all got them on. Just adds a little something to it, a little bit of individuality, and I do find it useful at close quarters. You're in a panic and you go for your secondary, you got that red dot sitting up there. You're not searching for your iron sights. You just, wherever you see the dot go, you pop it. So I think they're really useful. Some people don't, each to their own. Let me know what you think about this install. Will you be putting this on your Umarex T4E, or maybe it's a airsoft variant, because this will work for most of the airsoft variants out there with the same dovetail. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, you found it helpful, it helped you out, please like, subscribe and hit the bell notifications. Check out the videos up in this corner, I believe. I'll be putting together a playlist for this T4E pistol from Umarex, red dot installs, lanyard installs, back straps, all that kind of stuff. There's an unboxing if you haven't seen that. Let's get this video wrapped up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.